Hello, everyone, and welcome to the second and final round of the 19th Annual Fairhope Jubilee, taking place in Fairhope, Alabama. Terry Miller, the disc golf guy, and we're here watching the FPO's lead card. Chloe Alice was out in front, Paige Pierce following her, Madison Walker right there in the hunt as well, Emelia Marshall here to play and getting on the scene, and also Tina Oakley. And as we closed out the front half, we actually saw that there was a three-way tie for first place, Dustin. And
yeah,
holy cow, things are tight with about half the course to play.
Absolutely. And we're going to kick this off on kind of a stock, just hyzer shot over the fence, pretty short hole. But again, there was I believe, right to left crosswind that was carrying some disc a little bit further left than you were used to. So this was very much about controlling your height and trying not to expose that flight plate too much to the wind, as you can definitely see it kicking up there, and kicks Tina a little bit left. Also elevated basket, so that adds some trickery to it as well.
Yeah, and being the quote-unquote wind dummy here is no advantage, because you really want to know how wide right you need to hang it. And that's a great shot by Madison, but after a skip, that's going to go to about 30 feet. And Emmy sees those first three throws, and she's thinking, hey, I'm hanging this even wider than what you guys did. Thanks for showing me the route.
Yeah, beautiful shot there from Emmy. Usually people attack this with probably like an overstable putter or mid-range, but you may also down tempo on a fairway driver, as we see Chloe try to round out the card. And this one is looking beautiful. Oh!
Wow, a little bit of chain. And look at the gallery that's out there, taking it all in.
Yeah, at
Chloe.
first glance, I was scared that was going deep because, there is that road there that plays as OB, but she catches those backside chains, and man. And now this is the trickery of this hole is, do you go for it or do you lay up and take your par?
Yeah, and you're looking at a three-way tie for first, and Chloe trying to distance herself, and Tina's got a great bid that's just off the top of the nubs, but it does sit down for her. Here's Pierce. This is for birdie.
Yeah, stress-free birdie, which is nice. After watching Chloe flash change, that could have been a way to take a lead in style, but it looks like things will probably kind of remain the same as long as Chloe can tap in her birdie.
Emmy taps in the birdie, so Paige now has back-to-back birdies on holes 16 and A. Chloe looking to negate the bogey she picked up after the OB stroke on the previous hole. So she'll go back to even right where we find Pierce. This is Tina in for par.
Hey, look, there's Eric. Hi, Eric.
Eric Oakley out there on the bag. This is a one-day, two-round C tier, 19 holes. Huge shout-out. Flexline Pro helping out in order for us to be able to get the footage. Also, great sponsors like Rotor Disc Golf Supply. So many of you. Thank you so much. We're on to 17. This is a little bit of a turnover, and we're seeing it with Paige's Fierce. And that's a good line, but not quite enough power. She would love another 20 feet on that.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you can either kind of nestle in early as she did, or you can try to push it a little bit more forward, but then you have those trees that are blocking left side basket, which can cause some trouble. But Emmy not having any issues. I believe her skate's up there right near the basket. And here's the other very common play, just forehand out left, try to swing it in. The road plays as a river, so as long as you're in the grass of some sort, you're not out of bounds. And Chloe's happy about that because she is going to catch that fence on the left side and have a very long attempt. And that kind of gives, maybe Paige a chance to take the outright lead. Oh, no.
Yeah, and Tina pulling it too tight to the right side, and that is a world of hurt. I'll just tell you, if
there's
you're ever
nothing
playing
there.
This course, yeah, don't throw in there. There's nothing good you'll find in those bushes.
Absolutely not. I don't even know how Tina's going to get out of that. it's just, yeah, I mean, look at this. there's just nothing.
I promise she's in there. I promise I was following the disc, but that's the forward progress that she makes, which isn't much, unfortunately. She still has some work to do. And now pitching out. And that'll give her a look to save the bogey.
That's about the best she could have done from that position. I mean, it is just nothing there. As we're going to see Chloe still try to make something happen here from a decent length away.
That ship you see behind as Chloe gives it a run, that's actually where each day when this round or the tournament was kicked off, we heard a cannon fire, and I believe it was coming out of that ship.
Yes, correct.
That's how you do it in Alabama.
That's right. Give me that gunpowder and make a big noise. It was funny because they would shoot like a bottle rocket off first, and you're like, oh, okay. And then you'd hear the cannon, and you're like, oh, okay. I get it now. We're starting. As we do see Tina run in a pretty lengthy bogey putt, so nicely done there.
And now Pierce looking, as you said, to take the outright lead. I said she'd love 20 more feet. She probably would, but this is only from 25. A little bit closer than I realized, and she takes the birdie, and she'll go to 1 under.
Yeah, that's the passing of the torch happening for the top position. Emmy also finding the birdie. She had a great tee shot. Cool to see her capitalize. And now, you know, she's still right there in the mix in her own right. She's only a couple of strokes behind second place.
Remember, Chloe had come into this round. She was 4 under par, and Pierce was even. So Chloe had actually kind of a rough start. Started out with 3 consecutive bogeys, and Pierce now has picked up, I think in the last 3 holes, she's gotten 3 consecutive birdies just in the last 3. So things very tight.
Yeah, now this is like a pretty standard, just uphill, wide open shot. But again, with the wind, it made it a lot trickier. I think there was a right to left that was pushing this more left than you thought. So people are trying to, you know, play against that a little bit. And Emmy has executed that very well. Skips right up there near the basket. So Emmy's trying to make a little bit of a push here towards the podium.
Chloe trying to keep pace. And anytime you see that dirt kick up, I think you've thrown a good shot on this hole. You know, Chloe has given up a couple of strokes over the last 3 holes as Paige has gone with 3 consecutive birdies. Madison really playing that right side drift perfectly.
Absolutely. And I don't know exactly where Paige's disc landed because it looked like it carried right pretty far, same as Tina's here. But that gets some good skip, so never mind. She's going to be just fine. But Paige might have a lengthy putt here, and Chloe's right there, so Chloe could maybe tie this thing back up.
Little taily, huh?
Little bit of a tailwind, she says. And Paige from a pretty similar distance. A little bit more pin high, but still same distance. Boom. Count it. All right. All right.
And this win, that was no gimme. And that was probably a 25-footer or so, maybe more.
Yeah,
so
at least that.
What do you know? Paige hitting big putts. Where have I seen that before? Oh, you know, just the last many years.
Exactly. And Chloe is able to answer with a birdie of her own. Was that NBA Jam? She's on fire. I feel like would be an appropriate phrasing for Paige at this point. That's 4 consecutive birdies.
Yeah, she is surging out there. She wants to get this W. It might be a C tier. It might not be another world championship attempt, but that competitive fire is still always there, no matter what you're playing in.
A tap in, almost taking for granted how easy of a hole Emmy made that one look, but the tap in birdie. So this card goes 4 under out of the 5, and Tina, who had a good medal hit, not able to complete the star frame, but still 4 down for the 5. We head over to hole number 1, 258 feet.
And that is a beautiful backhand turnover. Gets a little gentle nestle back to the left, and Paige is just not letting off the gas pedal. You normally see the more wide left play, maybe even with the forehand, but some of these players who are more comfortable with the backhand have to kind of go more straight at it, which gives you some trees to navigate around. But Emmy also is not messing around. She has also been on a bit of a surge. I think she's now hit 3 in a row, looking for her 4th.
Emmy really has it dialed in, a little bit of that turnover that then flexes back at the end. It's like she has great control of exactly what her disc is going to do and when it's going to do it. And it's paying off. And you see the forehand by Chloe. That'll push off to the right side. Madison's going to flirt with that right side, but does get some carry to it. So still carried. And in fact, had she not hit that, it's tough to say. It feels like it maybe was coming in a little bit hot. I mean, she hit the tree and it's still finished pin high.
Here we see Tina rifling a disc down the middle of the fairway, kicks a little bit left, and this is a very lengthy bid, and she's been so close so many times, Terry. Will this be the one?
Yeah, well, look at that, running it down way deep in circle 2, probably just short of 60 feet. I didn't get out the Bushnell rangefinder or anything to double check, but that was a very long putt. Now Walker from about 30 feet, maybe a little more. That hits off the top and gets a nasty roll away.
She has had some really unfortunate moments on the putting green, between the wind on the island hole and now just getting a bad roll. She's been in the hunt the entire tournament.
Yeah,
that's a tough one. Oh, wow.
Chloe, yeah, he finally emerged after punching out. Paige doing a little directing of traffic. This is Paige for birdie.
Boom. That's 5 in a row.
That is a handful, as you said. Pierce trying to pull away and leave everyone back. Would they leave him back in Mobile? I'm trying to do the geography here. Is that, or Daphne? Where would you leave him behind if you're in Fairhope?
I guess it depends what direction you're traveling. I don't know.
Wherever you have your rocket boosters pointed.
Oh,
well, Paige has them on, and Madison is gonna 3-putt that one, which will result in the bogey. Emmy picks up another birdie, and she's back to even, and right now is sitting just one off the pace of Chloe, who's gonna tap in.
Yeah, again, it is
unbelievable.
Very neck and neck for the podium at this point as we head to a very tricky hole 4. Just got to hit this gap and have a gentle push to the right until the trusty Crystal Fierce comes out from Paige, and I believe that's going to be okay. May not have a birdie look, but she did get up there. I'm not sure how far forward she got, though.
You know, interesting to see that this one's just 240 feet. So clearly it's not the distance. It's a matter of hitting the mouth and then letting it gently fade left to right. And Tina gets caught up. Chloe's going forehand. And you gotta like that. That is right there.
That was me almost getting smoked again by that same Raptor. That thing was hunting for me all day while I was playing catch cam, but I was able to step out the way of that one. So, yeah, she's right up there for a birdie putt.
And Madison, this time, well off the mark with the drive. So that's going to be some work to do from that left side fairway as Emmy's seeing if she has a clear follow through and swing on her approach. Part of the construction taking place. Somebody would say, why did we go from hole 1 to 4? Well, because holes 2 and 3 don't really exist, and the baseball diamond and other things that are coming into play and all the construction here at this course, you'll see a very different looking course probably in the 2023 iteration.
In other words, she gone.
She gone.
Yeah, we're using it in a little bit of a different context, but the accuracy does still apply on their current existence, as we're going to see Madison here looking to take a long stab at this one. again, now sponsored by MVP, but that had not gone through yet into this tournament. So you can see she's still throwing a bit of a mixed bag.
Yeah, I can already hear the comment section blowing up.
That's what I'm trying to avoid, but
so
people will still do it anyway.
I appreciate that. Yeah, this was filmed on, I believe, Sunday the 9th. Commentary taking place about 2 weeks later as Tina is just off the rim. So even though some of us may have had insider knowledge of where a Cam Colglazer or Madison Walker were going, there's certain things you do and don't want to share ahead of time, even if it may affect the release dates.
Yeah, didn't know exactly when this would come out and when their announcements would be, so had to be careful as we're going to see Chloe looking to try to get her birdie after a great forehand off the tee, and indeed she will can it as she's trying to stay close to Paige, trying to still keep herself in contention. Paige has been on a tear as I believe this is her going for her 6th birdie in a row, and well, they just keep on coming.
Paige and I have very different definitions of 6-packs, and she just picked one up there.
Yeah,
Madison. Yeah, off the mark. That's going to be back-to-back bogeys for her.
And we'll see Emmy, who was also on a hot streak. She had 4 birdies in a row coming into this hole. Unfortunately, she'll have to settle for bogey on this one. So that'll create a little bit more separation between her and Chloe for 2nd place.
But we'll continue to keep an eye as Emmy, has a 1-stick advantage even over Madison Walker, and we're gonna see how it shakes out. Big shout out to Tina and Whale Sacks as we head over to hole number 5, the one that bends basically from left to right. The question is, which gap or airspace do you want to play in?
Yeah, most people like to play out wide left, avoid all of the gaps and trees, and just try to get something going. But you have to really push it forward and hope you get a good skip right down the hill towards the basket. Otherwise, at best, you're looking at salvaging par. You may see a couple of players try to challenge up the center, especially if they're more of a backhand player, as the backhand turnover out wide left is very difficult to execute. And yeah, that's what we're going to see here from Emmy.
And it feels almost too obvious to say, oh, they got caught up here. I mean, if you're just looking at these lanes or lack thereof.
Oh, wow. That's
seems inevitable.
Shot,
but yeah, Tina somehow presses the right secret button and punches through.
That looks beautiful as well from Madison with the forehand up one of the gaps.
And just as good as it looks, it unfortunately gets hung up by one of the late trees. Here's Chloe.
Good position to salvage par still from here. You just got to chip up there with the forehand, but
yeah, most of the trees out of the way, but like you said, and that's going to be some work just to save the par now.
Paige may gain another stroke off of that error, unless Chloe can jam the distance par putt. As Paige, no doubt, trying to give that a little bit of a run, a little low, but tap in par now.
Yeah, I'm thinking she's coming off 6 birdies in a row. That will be her first non-birdie in quite some time. So certainly feeling the momentum, feeling like maybe she's taking control of this event the way you kind of expect Paige Pierce to do it. Here's Chloe. Long look at par.
Off the top, and that's likely another stroke lost to Paige, and there's not many holes left to go. I believe we still have 3 left, so not a lot of room to wiggle back to the top.
And of the 3 that you speak of, knowing we've got hole C, which is an alternate hole coming up, and then hole 6 and 7. 7 it being the diciest of them all. Not a lot of room on 6, 5, or I'm sorry, C and 6.
Yeah,
6 for huge swings.
6 is also tough just due to the distance. It's the longest hole in the course, big dog leg left. So yeah, that's going to pose some threats. But as we see everyone kind of clean up, and we'll move over to that 10th hole C up next. As even that's a little bit tricky in this wind and with the OB deep of the basket that you have to consider. If I'm not mistaken as well, I want to say Chloe may have went deep in the first round on hole C and just had to salvage a par putt. And
yeah,
she
that
did.
is. Yeah, that is correct. So distance not being the problem. Double G craft jerky not a problem either. I've got some to give away, so make sure you're commenting down below. But Paige keeping it low, because the mistake you can't make here is to go deep and find the OB. There's kind of a service road that's behind the pin. All of that is out of bounds, and that's exactly what Chloe found in round 1. Emmy's tracking toward it, but is going to check up before it, and that gives her a good look at birdie.
Yeah, I feel like Paige was a little bit of strategy there. I think in the first round, she did kind of attack it with the overstable driver with the spike hyzer and tried to birdie it. This round, you can see she goes low with something slower and is basically putting it on Chloe. You know, look, I'm going to par this hole for sure. Do you want to try to run at this again and try to get a stroke on me? You know, putting that pressure on Chloe. Got to respect the gamesmanship that Paige brings, such a fierce competitor.
We'll look at birdie. We'll see if Chloe can apply some pressure.
That's so wide. Can it come in? Doesn't get the ground action she was looking for.
Yeah, it's really tough to plan for just how much of a skip you're going to get. As you can see out here, a lot of different terrain on this one hole, whether it's hard dirt, soft dirt, the grass, all of those different things.
Yeah, no one was really in position to have a great chance at birdie. A lot of lengthy putts. It would take something special. So a lot of people looking to get pars on this hole, it seems like. But we'll see if Paige can put up a big one here. Oof, just short.
So Chloe with an opportunity to pull it a little bit closer between her and Paige. She's going to need it, though. And you got to wonder, did she know just how much she needed that? Thinking like, hey, I am running out of time. I'm running out of holes and opportunities. And she doesn't draw a medal, which is very uncharacteristic from the putting we've otherwise seen from her.
Yeah, this is the one you'd really like to have gotten if you're Chloe. You know, you see Paige is going to get par at best. You have a chance to get a stroke, you know, with 2 holes left to play. That gives you, you know, maybe a chance to come back and tie for first to playoff. But now you go into a tough hole 6, still 3 strokes behind, and the door's definitely starting to close. But we'll see what they can do. As again, we come up to the longest hole of the course, but also still very tricky with the dog leg left that it has. As we see everyone clean up the pars here. So it's going to be a little bit of a par frame.
And this being so early in the season, my question to the world would be, put it in the comments. What's the next tournament you're playing? Where, when? Put it in the comments. I want to know. I'm not quite trying to get any GPS tracking devices or hunt you down or anything and know your whereabouts. But I do want to know, where is the next tournament you're going to play? By putting that in the comments, you're eligible to win one of our giveaways. And here's Pierce on 6, 391 feet. And that is truly perfect positioning here for a par. Knowing par is likely not going to lose you any ground, she set herself up very well.
Yeah, the wide right hyzer is the most common play if you have the distance just to get past those first couple of trees, but you can also go more up the middle. You can kind of see that tree out in the distance has a little white sign on it that indicates the 50 or 60 feet left you still have to go to get to the basket. As all, unfortunately, Tina catches an early tree and rolls out, so she's going to have a tricky approach, and this is a very hard hole to score on. Usually you're going to be parring this one at best. As we see Madison go out for the wide right play and does beat the trees, so she has a position to approach. Oh, that's going to be tricky.
Yeah, there's a slight chuckle out there, but unfortunately that likely means the door is closing here on Chloe by not putting any pressure, looking at a birdie opportunity or anything of that nature.
She's going to have a tough time scrambling for par. I mean, she looks very downhill, and that makes it a lot tougher to approach this basket. Oh, and Emmy catches a tree as well.
Stays on that wide side. Here's Chloe's going to go with the standstill forehand. Certainly not getting much of a run up in that position anyway, and that's not quite clean either.
Yeah, now you feel like if Paige can just par this hole, yeah, she'll likely be winning.
Nice gentle approach by Walker. She's not as convinced that it was a solid shot. She's had a little bit of a rough go out here. Oh, great approach there by Pierce.
Yeah, that should most certainly be a par, and maintaining that 4-under position as Emmy's looking to pitch up here, trying to at least salvage a bogey after a couple of tough shots.
Yeah, and to put it a little bit into perspective, Chloe opened the tournament with a 4-under in the first round. Pierce was even, and now we may see the exact reverse scores taking place.
And good commit from Chloe there. Gave it her all, but is going to have to settle for a bogey on this hole, which is going to put her at even. And with Paige being 4 strokes ahead with 1 hole to play, it's just not possible anymore. And now she kind of has to do a little bit of fighting just to maintain second position, as, you know, Madison's right there.
It's pretty bad, actually. Yeah. Right, Terry.
Yeah, sure. We'll go with that, Tina. Emmy also here sits at +1, and she's going to tap that in for the bogey. So you're exactly right. Thinking about how, you know, these final couple of putts are going to matter. Who's looking at second versus third? Paige has a tester.
Yeah, because I mean, especially with hole 7, it's a tricky fairway, so you could get some big numbers on there if you're not careful, and there could be some more position swapping going on. But Paige has certainly secured first place at this point.
And as we start to get ready for the final hole of the tournament, again, Flexline, who's been incredible. It was great to collab with them. Dustin, thank you for running around and helping out not only a camera perspective, but then also here on the commentary throughout all of these videos. Michael Gibney, the crew, all the supporting sponsors, Flight Factory, Rotor Disc Golf Supply, all of this coverage, all possible thanks to those people, along with my Patreon subscribers. Little early season, first tournament of the year action. Can't really complain about that as we're ready for 2022.
Yeah, I appreciate you having me along, Terry. You know, I'm trying to dabble more and more in disc golf commentary, and this is a great experience. And so I'm glad to be here as we're going to see our final hole go down, and Paige just needs to play something careful, and she's going to get that putter up there in position to at least get a par, and that's all she's really going to need.
Yeah, she's got a few strokes to play with, so nothing too crazy expected. Madison sitting in that tie for third right now, but a little bit off the mark.
I think she got far enough up there where she should be okay, but that from Emmy is dangerous. She didn't quite get all the way up the hill, so her scramble is going to be a lot more complicated. Great shot from Tina, though. Gets up the hill and gets up to the right, so may have a look to get a par out of this.
And not clean all the way through, which is a feat in itself on so many of these hallway or corridor shots, is to get through all the way clean, but still got most of the way. Emmy connects with a tree. Yeah. So she's going to be fighting for her par at best.
Yeah, not only a narrow fairway and uphill, which is tricky, but this is a very guarded basket. There's a lot of trees within circle 1. Nice shot, though, there from Madison. It's right up there. And that could be huge to go ahead and lock in that third place, as you were saying.
And Tina, after some contemplation, is now going to bust out a lefty forehand. Yes, a lefty forehand pitch out. Everybody can appreciate that. We've seen her with some solid recovery shots with the righty forehand, but apparently doing it left-handed too.
And Chloe will pitch up there, and looks like she will do well enough to ensure that she will remain in second position.
This might be a first. I don't know if I've ever filmed or recorded or published footage that went from a lefty forehand to the very next shot by that same person being a righty forehand. So, Tina, thank you. That's going to have to get solidified in a trivia question somewhere.
Achievement unlocked.
And as you mentioned, very protected green. This is Pierce with a look at birdie. And right near the pin, she'll likely be settling for the par. Chloe trying to close out the tournament. A very solid run, but when you're heading up against a 5-time world champ, sometimes she's going to do world champ things. And Chloe finishes strong with a solid par. Congratulations to her. That will be that second place position. Oh, the disrespect I get out here as Tina's kicking stuff at me now. Jeez.
She just got to clear her lie, Terry. I'm not sure what you mean.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah. Trying to get stuff in my sandals. Also a solid putt to close it out. And speaking of that, as everyone starts to wrap up again, Dustin, I just want to say thank you. I know you're coming from the esports world and you're an avid disc golfer. You got your own channel. People should check that out. And hopefully we're going to see and hear more from you out here in the commentary scene.
Oh, I would absolutely love to, man. I'm just getting started, and I hope to keep doing it. It's nice to be able to marry two passions together of mine. And yeah, I'm hoping to do more, that's for sure, as we see Paige put the finishing touches on yet another victory to add to her collection.
Yeah, her 100. So with that, I'm going to catch up with the champion, Paige Pierce. I get an interview with her, and we'll take a look at the final scores. Thanks for joining us. That's the 19th Annual Jubilee. We'll see you guys next time. Here's Pierce.
Thanks for being here, Terry.
Back it up, Terry. Tina got a 4. Go.
Tina got a 4.
I'm the Disc Golf Guy, and that was my video blog. January, Alabama, C tier. Not 3 words we'd put together for Paige Pierce typically. What's going on?
Yeah, I don't know the last time I played a C tier actually. Yeah. Do you know why I'm playing this? Or you?
I have some idea. Do you want to share with the world?
Yeah, I heard of some sad things happening that were happening to a local player here. She has transitioned into a woman. She used to be a man, which is every person's right? Do what you want with your body. And there was a lot of people. There was 13 women, if I'm not mistaken, that were signed up for the division, and they all dropped out because they didn't want to play with a man. And then they joined the men's division. So their argument there didn't really make sense to me, but you know, honestly, it's just I want to show support to her because that's what disc golf is. We are so friendly and we're welcoming, and how hard that decision is already to transition has to be, I can't even imagine, but it's got to be a difficult decision. And then to have people like shun you away, I didn't want to be any part of that. So I decided to play a C tier and just kind of show some camaraderie, and that, hey, you know, I know that some people disagree, but disc golf is welcoming, no matter if there's a few people that disapprove or think you're weird or think you shouldn't be playing disc golf. Like, no, disc golf is inclusive to everyone. Maybe I don't know what my full beliefs are on the matter quite yet, but I think no matter what the outcome is, that we should never push anybody away.
Well, I couldn't add to that at all. I think it's commendable and amazing that you and so many other friends wanted to come out and show support and prove just that. The disc golf, I always use the hashtag Frisbee family. I mean, that's what
Yeah.
we're here. That's what it's all about. And like you said, everyone can have their beliefs and can feel how they want. But we know where you stand. We know where the rest of the division here and everyone else stands. And I think that's awesome. So
I mean, we had a great day, you know?
Exactly.
It's not like it was anything that was weird. Like, we're all human beings, and like, at the end of the day, like, we shouldn't be judging. I shouldn't judge the shirt you're wearing. You shouldn't judge how my hair looks, you know? And it's like, we're all just trying to live our happiest life, and doing so is usually on a disc golf course. So just stop with the hate, no matter what it is. If you don't think that people, I don't know, it doesn't even matter. Just stop throwing hate out. People are just living.
one love. Well, this is Paige Pierce. She's your champion here today. It was awesome. Huge shout out to Flexline for doing all the work out here that they were doing so we could get the extra footage, along with Dustin, who's going to be working on some commentary and busting into the scene as
Awesome.
well. So Paige Pierce, Emelia, the disc golf guy. We'll catch you guys at the next one.